What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Plus Club for May on Tastefully Gaming. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And a quick reminder to play Dungeons & Defenders 2, which is our game of the month of May, but we are moving into the next month already, so we're going to be picking our game of the month for next month. And what is that game?
That is Grim Dawn.
We'll be playing Grim Dawn next month. Make sure to pick it up if you haven't. If you do have it, we'll be playing it. So play throughout the month with us, and we'll talk about it. We'll be talking about Dungeons & Defenders 2 next week for Tastecast. But with that, we're doing Plus Club. So we played this month Abzu and Tales from Borderlands. Hopefully you guys got a chance to play those. We played them a pretty good amount. Sorry for the delay in the episode. We've been having weird problems all week, so I'm sure you'll understand. Let's talk about Abzu first. For anyone who didn't get to play it, Abzu is a kind of an adventure game, I think would be the best way to put it.
Yeah, an experience type game would be another way to word that. So
yeah, where you are underwater. You're this weird alien looking diver person, and you essentially go forward a lot. It's a very vibrant game with a lot of stuff going on in the atmosphere. And what did you guys think of Abzu?
So I probably put about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours into it, and visually, it's a really nice looking game. I especially like I'm not sure what they are, but they're like these little like round parts on the ground. If you click on them, it introduces new aquatic life that ends up just being part of the scenery. So the more of those you find, the more fish and sharks.
That's what that was. Yeah. I was like clicking. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's just like these.
The couple mechanics it had, it kind of felt were almost pointless though. So like being able to like grab onto like a larger fish or whatever, and have it like drag you around. I think it was, unless you know better, it just seemed like it was there for visual reasons, which I could appreciate. I just was kind of confused on what the hell the purpose of it was. And then the little robots like have one purpose, it seems. So my overall impression was I kind of felt the same way about this as I did as Journey. I can see
very much trying to be Journey.
Yeah.
Not trying to be, but it's the same kind of game.
I feel a sense of appreciation for it, but like it does like almost nothing for me.
Chris, you actually beat this.
I did, and I'll tell you that the riding large animals gets very handy later on because you get very big areas you have to get across if you're trying to collect all the little portals to summon more animals, which is like, I guess, an achievement. There's also like not what kind of shells are those, like ammonite shells?
Mm-hmm. I think I found 2.
There's 3 per level.
Okay.
And I have come across only one door so far. Well, what looks like a door that has the indicator of how many you've collected. And I don't know if you collect all of them, if it opens up to something new, because I've come across them a couple times in different levels, but I missed a few here and there. But overall, it's actually, I got kind of addicted to playing it.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll just play a little bit, and I just
for the record,
stop.
You weren't that into Journey.
No.
Right?
I mean, it was okay. But
yeah, that's interesting. Stranger Danger. Yeah, it's all coming back.
Stranger Danger, but I think this was a little more interactive for me, the looking for the different spots to see what animals come out of it, and the kind of like surrealism of it all really like piqued me. I mean, I'm in art history right now, so we just covered surrealism, so it's all like fresh in my mind. But it definitely has a very surrealist feel to it. But the controls fucking annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
The inverse controls for everything were annoying. I went through and fixed the camera mode, but by that time I'd already gotten used to using inverse for swimming. Even then, though, I had times where I was just kind of like doing like these weird like woo motions.
I like the circle button.
Yeah, the dash.
No, the circle, you like roll up in a ball and you can like do tricks.
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
Weird.
You can hit it and you'll like roll up in a ball, or you'll do weird maneuvers. And if you hold it, you'll stay like that. So if you're like swimming like this and you do it, you'll like just roll in the water.
Weird.
Yeah.
I did feel like though there was more of a story to it than there was in like Journey, where Journey was just really about just the experience. If you pay close attention to like the scenery around you, there'll be walls that have mosaics around them that actually convey the story of what's going on with Abzu.
Yeah, I feel like Journey also did that though with its it had like that like 2D cartoon stuff that it would show as a build. There's definitely a story to Journey, but it's really vague in a way that's like interpretational. Whereas Abzu does seem like it has something built up with it for sure. It's really interesting to hear you liked it more than Journey, because I played Abzu. I think I got about 3/4 of the way through it, and I pretty much got the point of it. First off, Abzu I think is a fucking gorgeous game. I love the way it looks. I was constantly just looking. That's the thing that kept me compelled to keep going forward, because I hate games that are underwater. Or just parts of games where you're underwater, and this whole game is fucking underwater. And the controls are fine. I mean, I think the buttons are kind of weird, but the controls are fine. So it wasn't like it was like a fucking struggle or whatever. But yeah, just the visuals and constantly going. There's one part where there's all these fish going around in a fucking circle, and I swam in it, and it was just crazy looking. A lot of really cool parts. The parts where you're going through the flow, and you're just like flying through shit was really neat.
Collecting all the red fish on your way through.
Right after that, though, there was a pretty underwhelming level where, after seeing all that spectacle, which reminded me of Fantasia, just in the music and everything, just being so colorful and like a symphony. You just go to this like really dark, dingy place. I was like, wow, it's kind of a letdown after all that. But
I think that's more of an accurate representation of how the ocean really is, though. I mean, you come across pockets of like really vivid areas of life, and then most of the ocean is just actually empty, vast wastelands of water.
Yeah, it's just in the tone of the game itself, and not like the realistic parts of the ocean. The game did a really good job of building, and then went to that. And I feel like you could have done more in that area to still keep it fantastical and interesting in a dark way. And it just seemed like they put less work into that area, but I don't know. But I actually really liked it a lot for what I played. I do think I like Journey more though, just because of the gameplay type of Journey, and I also feel like there's less to do in Abzu than to just go for it. Obviously, there's things to collect, which I'm not a collector, so I didn't do that. I found that circle, and I was like, and things are coming out. I'm like, I don't know what this is, and I just kept going. And most of the time I was just fucking going forward. I was like, there's one point where I think I was on my phone for a second, looking up something while with my right hand I was holding R2 and steering with my thumb. So I mean, like that's how you play the game like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times I was like, man, I could just watch this almost. Like I feel like I'm barely playing it. And I kind of felt like that with Journey, but Journey had that whole like flow of like going down sand dunes and actually like platforming and stuff. It's not that much more, but for me the gameplay really was a little more to me. But not to compare the two too much, I think Abzu's fucking gorgeous. I think it's really cool in its journey. I didn't mean to put it that way. And I actually want to go back and finish it, because I really, really, really like, I love anything that's artistic, and I really loved the whole like visual symphony accompanied by the actual symphony of music. It was a really cool experience. So
some of the last areas in that game were some of my favorites ones too.
I was like, Journey for me, the ending was really fucking neat. I was expecting this game to do that. I mean, in its visual style with everything except from the one area I was talking about, it's just everything was just so fucking just vivid.
I did like the meditation spots too.
Yeah,
those are really nice. Just to sit there and kind of see all the sea life.
Yeah, it was kind of tranquil. Actually, when I was filming footage for this episode, I went to one of those. I was just kind of going through the different groups of fish and stuff.
Did you get the achievement for it?
I don't know.
It's called Circle of Life.
Sometimes things just pop up and I don't read it, so like I don't know.
It's basically watching like one of the fish go by and another fish eats it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I only did one meditation spot, and it pretty much happened right when I did it. So
I watched the whales fucking wreck some fish though. When you're swimming downward, just blowing through them like a Michael Bay movie.
Or like the damn shark who wrecks your robot.
Hey, he's a dickhead.
Asshole.
As soon as that happened, I'm like, I needed that guy. And then fucking later I found two of them. I was like, oh, cool.
You should really go back and beat that game.
Yeah, no, because then we can talk about spoilers. I mean, you could. I don't mind if you actually.
I don't want to spoil it, though.
No, it's not good.
No, but I like people to experience
I'm
those
the
types of
same
games
way.
all the way
It's
through.
really hard for me to ruin things unless it's just that bad. I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna care, so I don't care. But yeah, I like I said, I actually do want to go back and completely beat it. I don't think it'd take very long. You said it took you like 4
About
hours.
4 hours, but I was
Not bad.
collecting everything.
Well, and you were saying there's like 4 of those checkpoints essentially,
Mhm.
and like I was well past the 3rd one, so I mean I feel like I was about ready to fucking beat the game then. And I wasn't collecting shit. I was just going forward.
Yep.
And I'd look at fish, and I'd go forward.
Yeah, I made about the same amount of progress you did. So
Yeah.
I just like seeing all the sea life they included in. There's a lot. Like,
Well,
it's
that's
a
my
lot.
favorite part of the game. Like the gameplay, I don't care about. It works. No positives or negatives about it. It looks cool. But just the environments, I really, really dug just looking at shit. And they did such a good job on making the clusters of fish. The tech side of me was just like, man, they're rendering a lot of fucking fish right now. Like and there's no slowdown.
Yep.
So, yeah. So overall, really dug it. I do like Journey a little bit more, but it's definitely like right next to it for me, and I really like Journey. So, yeah, you really dug it too. You beat it, and you were kind of meh on it, just like Journey.
yeah,
So maybe this isn't quite your genre, but we might find one. You actually liked. It's not quite the same, but still kind of an adventure experience game. But everyone's gone to the Rapture.
I did really enjoy that.
You liked that one more,
Yeah.
so
That one spooked the fuck out of me.
I loved it. That one was
I
fucking
think
gorgeous.
I love the tone, and
Yeah.
I do feel a greater sense of actual exploration in that game.
Well, that one has a narrative too, though, so
Yeah.
there's something to drive it.
It's like my biggest fear come true. Just wake up one day and everybody's gone. Like,
That's all the bandwidth just for you.
but no one to play with.
It's where you put a Uzi in your mouth, put duct tape on the trigger.
Damn.
So the other day, and I thought about it, I was like, Jesus, that's fucking intense. I
Christ.
told Josh that, he was
You
like,
wouldn't even
God
have-
damn.
You wouldn't even have a chance to finish putting the duct tape on.
You fucking... okay, anyway, getting a little too... Talking about Abzu here. Who'd you recommend it to? I'm going to say the obvious. Anyone who's into experience games like Journey or Everyone's Gone to the Rapture or Gone Home. Something where you just kind of are going forward and you're there for the experience and not for the gameplay. The gameplay's fine, but yeah. Anything else you guys would...
Adventure games, the same vein of like Myst, stuff like that.
Definitely.
Not because of necessarily puzzle solving stuff, but as far as like pacing and just like visuals. So
Yeah, pretty much the same. I would not recommend this for children, though. They would probably get bored and easily frustrated with it. Because there are some mechanical aspects to it.
Unless you got one of them smart kids who likes Legos a lot. He might be into it. She might be into it.
Maybe.
I would have been into it as a kid, but I'm weird.
Anybody just looking to relax, just sit back and play. a game.
Definitely.
very chill game.
Definitely. If you're looking for something passive that you can be on your phone, play with one hand. I would also recommend this to anybody who's into just visual arts. If you like movies like Fantasia and stuff like that, this would probably be right up your alley. It's weird to recommend this to somebody who's watching a movie, but it's a similar experience for me when I watched it or played it. The whale scene, all that stuff, I didn't really feel like I was part of it, but I enjoyed the experience. Yeah. Second game we played this month was Tales from Borderlands. It's a Telltale game. If you didn't play it, which if you don't know what that is, it's a kind of a choose your own adventure point and click game, except for with the controller. This is based in the Borderlands universe. I believe it's between. Is it after 2?
It's after 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after
Like almost
2.
immediately
Yeah.
after 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's canon if you played Borderlands 2, and Borderlands 1 barely had a story, so that doesn't really come into play. What'd you guys think of, and also how far did you get in Borderlands or Tales from Borderlands? I was like Borderlands 2.
Episode 4.
Damn.
Was the furthest not this play session, but I had played it prior.
Yeah,
to play
I actually bought the
this.
game beforehand and fucking when it
Yeah,
came
I
out.
did too. I played on PC when it came out, and I ended up playing through. And like every time a new one would come out, I'd play it, and I for some reason didn't finish it, so I need to go back and do that. But I actually quite enjoy it. It isn't.
The Walking Dead.
It isn't The Walking Dead for sure. But I do think for what it is, they do a really good job of storytelling in the game. I was actually pretty surprised because I mean we've said it before. Borderlands had like almost no story, and Borderlands 2 had like a really impressive story for what they were coming from.
That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And
they made that storyline way more interesting than that game deserved.
And then obviously like making a really good villain, well, that plays a lot into Tales of the Borderlands too. Is you get this really like, spoiler alert for Borderlands 2, Handsome Jack, obviously you kill him, and now
good-looking Jacques.
And now he's not in charge of Hyperion anymore, and now you have a bunch of people gunning for that position, and you play one of the people gunning for that position. And it's just interesting to see what ends up happening to him, and then like going through the world of Borderlands as someone who's not just like the super badass person. So
with the cameos of people from the games.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought better storytelling than Borderlands really kind of deserves. But I thought that about Borderlands 2, so maybe I'm just wrong in that at this point.
Yeah. I actually only played the first episode, and that was actually on purpose. I beat the first episode. I liked it enough, but I didn't feel compelled to continue it. I probably should have for the show, but I got the gist. And in fact, I installed it and then went and instantly installed the newest Walking Dead, the new Batman, and a couple other Telltale games. Because the game reminded me what I like about Telltale. Played the first episode, and I think the storyline's interesting. I think some of the set pieces are really fucking cool. They did a really good job, especially in a Telltale game. They don't get to really get out there and do crazy like fucking car combat shit.
Yeah.
All their games are typically grounded, walk around, more dialogue driven. So seeing that was really neat. My biggest problem is I didn't find the characters compelling to a point where I cared about them or what they were going to do or what was going to happen with the storyline. The storyline is interesting, but yeah, I didn't care about any of the characters at all. It's really hard for me to want to see what happened to them. And the humor wasn't bad, but it was off. It felt like it was trying to emulate Borderlands humor, but you can tell it's a different writer, and that's fine because he has a big job that he has to do, and he did a good enough job.
Sure,
but it was just off. It was like eating something and there's something wrong with it. You can't tell what the fuck it is. Like I said, not bad. It just kind of put me off. Because I was just constantly listening to the dialogue, and I'm like, this doesn't really sound like Borderlands. That's trying to sound like Borderlands. But again, I guess my biggest thing with this is the Telltale aspects of it were great. The Telltale aspects trying to do Borderlands for me didn't work. It's really confusing because I don't think it's bad at all.
Yeah.
It just didn't work for me. I don't know. And I also don't. The Borderlands universe, I think the chaotic nature of it in FPS works really well just because you're just fucking shooting people's heads and doing a bunch of crazy shit and your characters yelling, wah, just yelling crazy shit while you're fucking shooting shit. Being Wario going down the plane. But in a Telltale game, I wasn't getting that chaos that I expect from Borderlands, and it kind of made me realize that the Borderlands universe outside of that isn't all that compelling to me. It's really weird. In essence, the game is good. It's just not for me.
So as far as just to respond to your care of the characters, I would say in the first episode I didn't care either.
They get more interesting.
I think it's a slow burn.
Yeah. Well, I kind of had that in the back of my head because I'm like, Telltale is a really fucking talented company, and they're really good at storytelling. That's their fucking bread and butter. So I was like, it's impossible these characters are this fucking empty.
Yeah.
So I probably should keep playing. I just really fucking just was not invested.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely found that every episode I was enjoying myself more and more and more as I went. So,
although when I played The Wolf Among Us, the first episode, although I was compelled by the setting, the characters at first I'm like, but then they got better, so I can kind of see that for sure. Although Walking Dead, instant.
Yeah.
Well, it also could be that the symptoms of boredom with the characters are just drawn into Borderlands games. Is the characters overall aren't really compelling to begin with. Even the main characters
Agreed.
I couldn't find super compelling. So it might just be a symptom of the overall theme of how the characters are laid out.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Plus, I played the fuck out of Borderlands too, so I'm kind of just I've got my fill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts? I talked so long.
Probably played maybe halfway through the first chapter.
Oh wow. Okay.
I got to the part where you're playing as the lady. Can't remember her name. That's how.
I don't know the characters' names either.
Whatever it is.
I just played it too.
How compelled I am, my favorite character is the cameo of Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
Shade. It's my favorite character. It's the one I was most compelled by.
Yeah, he was in 2 in the expansion.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, he was
But I
crazy.
believe you.
Yeah, no, he's definitely there. I remember him.
Overall, for me, a Telltale game has to have something of more of like a draw to it. So like The Walking Dead, obviously, it's got a lot of praise for it, but it's very compelling because it draws you in a sense that the setting is very realistic and easy for you to put your place in the scenario. I think games like Borderlands, and I haven't played the Batman one, so I can't place any judgment on that one.
Pretty cool.
But I think Borderlands is harder to get involved in because it's not realistic. It's over the top. It's cartoony. It's just harder to be drawn into that world unless you're a really big Borderlands fan, like a really big fan.
Well, and on that note, like, yeah, that's the interesting thing is like Borderlands is fucking zany as shit, and when I'm following these characters trying to be like serious in certain parts, it just didn't do it for me. And surprisingly, in Borderlands 2, there's some serious parts that happen, and somehow they did the impossible feat of actually making me give a fuck, which was weird because it shouldn't have worked. That's just how impressive the writing was. So, I mean, you have a real fucking tall order you have to do to make Borderlands work in a serious tone.
Absolutely.
But again, the investment, I didn't get that far. Far enough.
And like I said, I remember playing the first episode and being like, oh, this is, it's a Telltale game, and I enjoyed it, but that was about as far as it went. And then as I started playing through the episodes, I started actually going, oh, okay, I see where they're going with this. I still don't know, like, there's this, and you should have seen him, you probably did too, but there's the guy, like, dragging you around or whatever. I haven't figured out who he is yet. So that's obviously like the reveal that's going to happen in the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to finish it still, but I enjoy it. It's definitely not The Walking Dead. I don't think any Telltale game is, though.
It's never going to be because The Walking Dead won Game of the Year that year. I played it and I was like, yup.
Yeah, it was really good. And with the second one, they like did it again.
Yep.
I haven't played New Frontier yet. At
That's
all. Is the 5th episode out yet? That's what I'm waiting for. So, because
I don't know.
a game I'm gonna probably.
I played the first 2 because they were released at the same time, and then I uninstalled it.
I think it's coming out
Waiting
soon.
for the
I
next
saw
ones.
something on Twitter about that, but regardless, I really hope they can keep that going with that game because it'd be a damn shame otherwise.
Yeah.
But we're obviously talking about something else now. But I've played probably less Telltale games than you now.
I played a shitload, yeah.
I had played most of them at one point, but
I own the Game of Thrones one. I haven't touched that one yet.
I own that one. I haven't touched it. I own Wolf Among Us. I haven't touched it yet.
It's really good. I really want to sign
So,
it. More on you though, because you kind of ignited in my head more reasons why I wasn't compelled by it.
I don't know much else to say.
You just
really.
weren't particularly too into it though. Kind of similar.
I mean, the gameplay was more than what I recall for a Telltale game. It's a little more actiony, but it just didn't click for me. I mean, I might go back and finish it. I might not. It just meh.
It's also a nitpick, but having Zero in the first episode, his character is so self-aware in Borderlands 2 that he's an archetype. He's a parody of an archetype. And so when he's saying really dorky, cheesy shit, it's because they know he's that dude, and they're making fun of it. So he's super serious or whatever. There's some parts in the first episode when he talked that I'm like, you're taking away from that parody. You're actually like, because they have to flesh him out if they're going to put him in a Telltale game. Like, he's got to say things. But at the same time, I get what they're doing, but at the same time, like, it takes me out of it because I'm like, he's such a self-aware parody of an archetype that it's, and I'm repeating myself, but to flesh him out doesn't work for me. Like, you got to keep him simple. Don't give him things to say and shit. He's just got to keep it like fucking all about honor and all that weird stupid shit that makes him dorky.
See, really, only the characters I can think of that had a lot to say were the soldier characters and the sirens were mostly the ones that.
And the sirens talking are fine because they're
Yeah.
such a big part of the lore of Borderlands.
But even like fucking. I can't remember any names right now, but
Yeah, I'm tired.
the big dude from the first game, Brick, and
Brick tits.
and then the Gunzerk are obviously meant to be more simple-minded characters. So
Gunzerk for the win. That's my boy. OP as fuck.
Gross looking.
Oh yeah, and he's like this big.
who'd you recommend it to?
Anybody who plays the Telltale games for sure. Anyone who's super into Borderlands for sure. Anyone who wants point and click, or not wants, or into point and click adventures. Anybody who likes storytelling. Anyone who likes humor. Really, anybody. Like I said, I don't think this is a bad game in any way. I just think it did. I think I'm too nitpicky for this game for me to be able to enjoy it. But yeah, anyone in those categories, if you're into like shooters or something, you're not going to enjoy this probably, unless you want to dabble, and maybe you'll find out. But I wouldn't recommend it to you.
I mean, I think you said everything I was going to say as far as recommendations go. If you're in Telltale games, you're into adventure games, story-based games. I mean, that's exactly what this is. So,
And if you like this, I have a recommendation from Josh. You'll probably like Dark Souls 3. Go play that.
I would not recommend this to anybody else who's played a Telltale game before.
Really? Ooh, that's harsh.
I would recommend this to people who have played Borderlands, enjoy it, and are looking to get into Telltale games as like kind of like an entry point.
Okay.
Only because like I've never felt so much stress in a game as in The Walking Dead. I haven't any other game before. Like literally stressing me out playing that game.
That's some pretty fucking stressful parts.
So I think,
especially at the end of 2.
especially when you have 2 seconds to decide.
I think this is a good segue for people who are looking to get into Telltale games.
I definitely can understand that and respect that, and maybe even do the same recommendation. But at the same time, there are people like myself who beat a Telltale game, and I'm like, I need another one. And eventually, you're gonna run out. Because fucking, I remember beating Walking Dead season 2, and I was like, I never beat Wolf Among Us. I played it, I beat him. Like, okay, I didn't play this one. I played that and beat that, and I'm like,
It's like this Borderlands is like the amuse bouche, I think it is, the single bite
oh yeah,
meal, and then Walking Dead is like the main course.
oh definitely.
Yeah.
No, if I'm recommending you play a Telltale game, fucking definitely Walking Dead for first, and then the rest of them you'll be like, oh, these are good, but that one's great. Someone played Minecraft though. I don't want to, but I'm sure it's good.
I heard it was good.
I heard it's good too. Yeah, I haven't heard a bad thing about any fucking Telltale game. They're good. Like I said though, definitely if you like Borderlands, you like Telltale games, I would recommend you play this. It's just part of the whole thing. And yeah, if you're diving into Telltale though, like yeah, maybe try that one first, and it's only gonna get better.
An easy segue.
Yeah, it's only gonna get better from there. So, anything else on that?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments. What did you think of these games? Did you like Borderlands, Tales from Borderlands? Did you play Abzu? Let us know. That's going to do it for this episode of Plus Club on Tasty Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr and Twitter. Tasty Gaming. I'm actually using Twitter. That's fucking weird. Yeah, check out the streams on the channel. They're uploaded if you missed them. Check him out on Twitch, tasty_fruit. And my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
Until the next episode, which will be, we're doing Friday's episode on a Saturday. So Tuesday, for Taste Tuesday. Have a good weekend, guys, and take it easy.